I usually don't name my pieces. I try to keep it as authentic as possible. So I hope you feel it. This past summer has been good to me. And it's all to my surprise because I can admit that when seasons change, it brings about a change in me. Emotionally, mentally, and shit, sometimes it's even physically. But it's not that I'm crazy or emotionally unstable. It's just that I feel a lot more than most are able. I tell you the truth and it's no fable. And even though to some that just might be debatable, I ask that you imagine years of being trapped on a bad trip. But see, in this story, there's no bunny down a rabbit hole to get you through that dark abyss. It's just you. And with them tears cutting your face like knives do, you think it would be easier to Kurt Cobain you with your whole life existence feeling limited as you suffer from these suicidal tendencies. So you begin to ask yourself, what's the difference from living and existing? And it's quite simple, like telling the difference between a bitch and a woman. Life is so simple, but we forget that we got to change with it in order not to lose ourselves in a system that's so wicked. Some act jaded while the others act twisted, but somewhere down the line, you have to connect with your soul to get your spirit lifted. Going through life, feeling like something's missing, feeling that void with a temporary substance, thinking that it will fix it, or at least make the pain feel different. But the answers lie trapped within the chambers of your thoughts. And if they try to treat your mind with those pharmaceutical lies, may you not suffer in silence, but you change your scenery, the food that you consume, the people that you meet, and the demons that you defeat along the way, and somewhere you're going to find your inner peace.
So today's topic is about mental health, and I want everybody to raise their hands based on the questions that I ask, okay? So the first two questions are, how many people know or think they know someone suffering with mental health? You got that camera? You got the audience over there? All right. My next question. How many people think they can define mental health? How many people think they can define mental health? Go ahead, raise your hands and be confident, because I'm going to pick on two people. All right. Huh? I pick you right there.
Mental health would be like the state of mind in battling like daily life, personal, and trying to accomplish your goals and stuff like that. It would most likely be, your mind state and how you handle things.
All right. I like that answer because it was definitely close to the definition, how you handle things. And I saw a lot of other hands in the audience.
I feel like mental health is based on how you was brought up and what you've been through. Sometimes people handle things differently on how people treated them. So it can have an effect on how they act and how they handle whatever they go through.
Okay. I like that answer as well. It seems similar and to the point, just like the other one. So basically, it's July, and July is Minority Mental Health Month. What a coincidence. I found that out today. Literally, I found that. For real? Like, somebody DM'd me. That's news to you? Yeah. I'm glad it's news to you. So there's a lot of facts on this. I'm going to tell you the definition of mental health, and then we're going to talk about it. Usually I have questions, and it's usually a topic where I can just talk to the panel about it, but this is not one of them topics. Mental health disrupts people's thoughts, emotions, relationships, and daily functioning. And that's kind of what Mo said. It's kind of what Peyton said. And it's like, it's normal. That's what I got out of the definition. It's normal. Some things with mental health are fairly mild, and they only interfere with some aspects of life, such as certain phobias. Like, my phobias are like rodents. I didn't tell a lot of people that, but I hate rats. Yo, shout out to Lala, my homegirl Lala. One time we was walking, I pushed her. Like, we was walking on 25th. Everybody know 125th Street. We were walking one time in high school. I was in high school when this happened. But we were walking, I saw a rat, and I'm like, yo! I pushed her. My bad. Anyway, also, it is estimated that mental health illness affects 1 in 5 adults in America. 1 in 5 adults. And there's like more than 5 adults in here. So a couple people probably got mental health issues in here, and it's okay. Anyway, mental illness does not discriminate, and I need everybody to know that. This is also another fine print. It is important to know that mental illnesses are medical conditions that have nothing to do with a person's character, intelligence, or willpower. You could be the strongest person, the smartest person, and you could still suffer with mental health. All right? And I want y'all to introduce yourself and let them know your name and where you're from, and I'll get into my facts, and then we'll start the discussion.
All right, so hello, everybody. I want to first thank all my friends for coming out. Shout out to everybody in the front for coming out to, show love. I respect y'all. Thanks for everybody who came out here to show love. My name is Jonathan. I'm from Harlem, feel me? And I'm here to speak on mental health. Facts. Harlem in the building.
What's up, everybody? I'm Kaniki. I want to thank my girlfriend and Mo that came out for supporting me. Appreciate you. I'm pretty sure nobody's from Long Island out here, but I'm from
nobody.
Nah.
We're gonna start with this off with facts and questions. One fact is black people take up 50% of the prison population, 40% of the homeless population, and 45% of the children are in foster care. Black people also account for 37% of drug arrests, but only 14% of drug users. So only 14% of black people use drugs, but they account for 37% of the drug arrests. Why do you think that is?
So I think that is more so because it's a lot of us. You know what I mean? So, and a lot of us are grouped together in these neighborhoods that it's like they only give us the bad reputation. You know what I mean? And it's like off the rip, it's the bad reputation. It's not what happened to your family? Let me know some of your life history. It's off the rip. Oh, you're a drug dealer. You sag your pants. You're automatically labeled as bad off the rip. So it's like the fact that we don't get the benefit of the doubt is a lot of the reason why a lot of things happen. You know what I mean? Because that makes us angry. It's like you don't know me, but yeah, you're judging me, and you don't know what I have to go through to make things complete. You know what I mean? And especially for a black African male, it's like you have a chip on your shoulder. You really have a chip on your shoulder. So it's like if you're not making things happen and you're not accomplishing things for more so and more than for other people, for the most part, it's never about yourself in the neighborhood. It's more so about other people, your moms, your sister, your little brother. Feel me? It's bigger than just us. But yet people seem to people don't understand that we don't have the knowledge. We're not granted the knowledge that'll put us in a position to win. You understand? These public schools in these neighborhoods are terrible. Terrible. You know, you can make it out and you can do something with it continuously, but in the grand scope of things, while you're there, it's terrible. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, overall, I think people have to pay attention to language and how we understand certain things. They use the way they describe black people, the black community, or anyone that's not white, you're considered a minority, but you have to remember, even with the numbers were off. We're 30% of the population, we're 45% of the population. That's more than half. So that makes you wonder, are we really the minority or are we the majority? And the way that they are able to collect everyone or put everyone in a certain type of zone, it has a lot to do with politics. It has a lot to do with this thing called redlining school zones. When you redline the area, you basically deem this area as something that's not resourceful. And it's this thing I learned in school called white flight that basically what's happening now in Harlem and Bed-Stuy, gentrification, is that when white people go to a certain area, they bring resources with them. And when they leave, they take the resources with them as well. And that's why, and real estate people know this, people who sell territory know this, so that's why people who are placed in these black communities, we don't have the resources, and it's all part of the plot. Like, it's a deliberate move. It's not something that's done by mistake. It's all with intention. And as African Americans, when you realize that the system is not designed to benefit you, that's when you'll stop trying to integrate and you'll separate yourself and try to build with your own people.
Question.
What's up?
Question. So, we always talk about the problems, but we can't do what was taken away from us and what we don't have. What do you believe are the solutions for the betterment of our people?
And thank you for bringing that right now.
That part. I mean, a lot of people might not like what I'm about to say, but I think people have to get out of the idea of reparations. The white man is not giving you shit. He's not. And when you realize that, when you realize that you're not going to get a piece of what the white man has, you'll be more inclined to be an entrepreneur, to go out and build your own for your own people. And I think it goes back even to the slave mentality. We have no sense of community. We have no sense of self. Our community is not called a community. It's called a hood. What's the definition of a hood? Something you put over to hide, something that you're trying to keep away from the outside world. So I think once we really realize like we're all that we have, we'll stop looking for a seat with the white people and make our own table. And you have to be around like-minded black people. Every brother's not your brother. Every sister's not your sister. And when you're able to realize who's who, that's when you can make the moves. But you have to start with you, and then everyone else will be inspired to do the same thing.
I need to clap for that one. You said a lot, and it's like when we get to a place where it starts with you, my next part 2 is about to be about self-care, and I feel like that's another thing that has a lot to do with it. And like she said, it starts with you, so it's really just a matter of asking yourself, yo, did I get enough sleep? Am I doing things that make me happy? This doesn't make me happy. Why am I still doing this? This person doesn't make me happy. Why am I still around them? Like, it's a lot of things that play into that. And it really starts with you. So that's why next episode is about to be about self-care and drugs. It's going to start with self-care. And I'm glad you made it like a little segue into that. Also, I'm going to go into with the facts. We're going to ask audience questions and we're wrapping it up after that. So stigmas and judgment prevent black people from seeking help for mental health. It's like, yo, I don't want to even talk about my feelings because I'm looked at as being weak or I'm looked at as being like a punk. So especially with men, it's like they can't talk about their emotions. It's just a study that is big in the black male community that they're taught to not cry, to not talk about your feelings, to hide your behavior and deal with it alone. Like statistics show, a lot of people feel like you shouldn't even talk about that with your family. And with that being said, therapy is a good thing. And another fact was that black people think therapy is bad. Like black people be like, yo, go to church. You don't need a therapy. Go get God. And like, God is great. Thank you. So 2 questions and that's it. Your question or comment?
Okay. My name is Catherine. I'm from Long Island. My point is that you were saying that you got to make sure that you're speaking to like-minded people who think like you think, and I think that's good, but I also think like to expand us to evolve us all, it would be good to kind of open the conversation to people who don't really know or want to talk or are resistant about this stuff, because they're the ones who need to come over to the side that we're at, where we already understand how important it is, our mental health and our mental illnesses. And if we address it with each other, then we'll find a more commonality and a closer brother-sisterhood. That's what I want to say.
Shout out to Catherine. I want y'all to, like I said, what are avenues you think people can take, black people can take, to approach this mental health issue?
The best way to change what's going on is to educate people. We're ignorant. Black people are ignorant, and I mean it in the most loving way. We don't know better. So when your child is spending a long time in his room, not going to school, cutting class, you automatically, you allow these white people to tell you what's wrong with your child instead of you doing the work and doing the research. I have my own battles with mental health, and I was diagnosed with bipolar and depression disorder at a very young age. My mother was very proactive. I went to therapy for 7 years. I've been in and out of programs, and if it wasn't for my mother not allowing her ignorance to create boundaries, I wouldn't have gotten the help that I needed. And sidebar, like, I know a lot of people are under this assumption that Long Island is a rich place and a lot of houses, but just like there are a lot of rich places in Harlem and Brooklyn, there are a lot of hoods in Long Island as well. And where you have to remember, when you live in the hood, you go through a lot of traumatic shit. You see your friends die, you see your mother on crack, you see your friend's mom on crack. That takes a toll on people. And when you just normalize the trauma that you experience and you don't allow yourself to say, I shouldn't be going through this at 15, that adds to the ignorance and it adds to the stigma.
Tom, let them know what your name and where you're from, beginning your Instagram name.
My Instagram name is Kaniki Bonds, KANIKIBONDS, and I live in Long Island, and yeah, just follow me.
So I think that my people need to read more and to be more vocal.
That was vital.
Right. I feel like we need to read more because there's a lot of things that we don't know, and the only way we're going to realize those things is if we read. We can all read in here, right? I remember it was a time in slavery where they were scared to teach us how to read, right? So why don't we use this thing to our benefit now that we're able to read? It's a lot of people I know, man, that really don't, like, are really illiterate on the academic level. And it scares me because if you can't read, then you're not going to be able to access the knowledge that you need to better yourself in life. So my name is Jonathan. My Instagram is GQ__bling. Feel me? You can follow me there. Double G. Feel me? Keep it real.
Like I said, this can go and it did go as long as it should have. And I invite y'all back to the next panel segment. If y'all can't make it, it's cool. Y'all know people work and we gotta get money out here. We gotta pay bills. But if y'all can make it, definitely come through. Everybody, this is the Real Talk segment. Mental health is a big thing in our community. And next segment is gonna be about solutions. Because who wants to talk about problems this time? HighImDorii, third segment.
Y'all make some noise for Dorii one time. Make some noise.